Hi. Today, we will explore the vastly disturbing planes of One Night at FLUMPTY'S 3. I will discuss each entity in length, their appearance, jump scare, and mechanics. Before we begin, here is a quick disclaimer. While I am aware of the drama the creator of these games was involved in, I personally believe it is important to separate the art from the artist. Therefore, I don't condone any of his actions, and actively condemn them. With that being said, let me give you a quick synopsis. In this game, you are put into an office. This office has a center hallway that is extremely dark. To the left of the player is a vent, and to the right is a furnace. The player is equipped with a camera, with which they can flash the center hallway or the vent to the right. The player must also worry about their temperature. If their temperature gets too low, they will freeze and will be unable to move. This game features a normal night, a FLUMPTY night, and a hard-boiled mode, all of which will be explained in due time. Without further ado, let us begin this deep dive. Our first entity is known as Birthday Boy Blam. Birthday Boy Blam is a short male humanoid with a gray rectangular prism for a head, and a darker gray cylinder-shaped body. He possesses 2 dots and a line for a mouth as his facial features. However, his appearance will change twice in different positions. If he is within the hallway, his appearance will morph, with his mouth extended horizontally and his teeth elongating. As well, during his jump scare his face will morph dramatically. His mouth will open widely, his teeth will turn into sharp pointed teeth, and he will possess 4 pure black eyes, with an unknown black liquid leaking from them. The entity will become active from the beginning of the night. He will take a predetermined path to the office. He will begin in camera 1. He will then move into camera 2, and lastly into camera 5. Afterwards, should he leave this camera, he will be in the hallway. Though he won't be visible because of the darkness that engulfs the hallway. If he remains there for too long, the following jump scare will greet you. Take note that the entity has several movements per each camera. For example, he has 2 movements in camera 5. When he first enters the camera, he will be seen peeking out from the corner. Then, he will be seen as his alter ego, Kevin Jr., only then will he move out of camera 5. He will have to move through each movement every single time, and he will never skip any of them. There is 2 movements in camera 1, 3 in camera 2, and 2 in camera 5. This entity makes an appearance in the FLUMPTY night, as well as the second half of hard-boiled mode. He will be seen in camera 6, with his face split open, and eyes bleeding. Quite the gruesome scene. To deal with this entity, you must flash the hallway. Doing so will cause him to leave the hallway and retreat all the way back to camera 1. Assuming his first stage in the said camera. Take a look. Our next entity is known as the Redman. The Redman takes on the appearance of a tall, slim, and skeletal blood-red creature. It doesn't resemble any animal or human, however, it does have some qualities relating to both. It stands out for thin and sharp-pointed nubs, and it has an exposed ribcage. However, its face is truly the most baffling part. It has an awkward shape, with one half being larger than the other. The entity supports 2 disproportionate black hollowed eyes with red pupils, with the right eye being bigger. The entity's mouth, or what I can assume is its mouth, is shaped like 3 disproportionate pointed nubs that can move on command, similar to a spider's mandibles. This entity will become active in the normal night somewhere around 1 AM. The entity will primarily remain in camera 4. Camera 4 itself is of interest. This camera, unlike the other cameras, has a red-hued static overlay. The camera also appears to feature an orange firelight portal. The redman will progress through 4 different movements, before he enters into the furnace through the fire portal. He will first appear in the shadows, then a little closer, then he will be seen standing next to a stalagmite, and lastly he will be seen looking through the portal. Once he enters the furnace, the camera will switch to an angle of the furnace, with the redman's face inside it, and a blood-red text reading, "Stay away." If he is inside the furnace, the player must never go to it. If the player waits for a short while, the redman will reset, and return to his starting position. The redman makes an appearance in the FLUMPTY night in the former half of the hard-boiled mode. He will be seen in camera 6, laying in a pool of blood, torn into pieces. Only his face and a bit of his ribcage is visible though. The whereabouts of the remaining parts of his body are unknown. Should the player be foolish enough to go to the furnace when the redman has entered it, the following will occur. Our next, and to some, scariest entity is known as Grunkfuss the Clown. The entity takes on the appearance of a clown. He has pinkish skin, balding red fuzzy hair, a red clown nose, yellow eyes with dilated red pupils, and star-shaped makeup around the eyes. The entity's mouth is elongated horizontally, and rows of bloody teeth can be seen within. The entity's body is a round red structure. He has spindly and slim purple arms and legs sprouting from it. He wears white gloves on his hands, and red and white shoes. This appearance slightly changes within the cameras. In his first 2 poses in camera 6, he appears much more human. His disturbing and highly irregular qualities have been mostly replaced. His eyes now appear human, and his teeth, while yellow, appear like normal human teeth. This appearance once again changes when he is in any other pose. His eyes will have retracted, leaving the impression that his eyes are closed. This entity will become active somewhere around 1 AM. He will begin in camera 6, then, he will move to camera 3, then to camera 2, and lastly to camera 5. If he should leave this camera, he will now be in the dark hallway. He will remain there for 2 to 3 seconds, before returning to his starting position in camera 6. However, in the time frame that this entity is in the hallway, the player mustn't flash the hallway. Should birthday Boy Blam or Eyesaur be present, Grunkfuss will take precedent. As in, the player must wait for Grunkfuss to return to camera 6, before flashing the hallway. This entity makes another appearance in camera 6 of the FLUMPTY night as well as the second half of the hard-boiled mode. He will be seen on the left side. His eyes seem to be gouged out, his left leg has been ripped off, and his jaw seems to have been torn. He also has several spike or needle-like objects penetrating his head. Should the player flash the hallway when the entity is in it, the following event will occur. Our next entity is known weirdly enough as the Beavowl. This entity has possibly the weirdest design out of any other. It appears to be a stitched-together amalgamation of the beaver and the owl. The right side of its face is the beaver's, and the left side is the owl's. The owl's left wing is attached to the top of its head. The entity has a knife coming out of its left hand. Its nose appears to be the owl's beak, and it has yellow beaver teeth. Around 2 a.m., the entity will become active in camera 3. He will be seen climbing out of the hot tub. He will then crawl into the connecting vent. Then, he will be seen in camera 7. He will move through 2 movement stages before leaving the camera. Once he leaves this camera, he must be dealt with by flashing the vent on the right side. Doing so, will cause the Beavowl to retreat back to camera 3 and restart his attack. Take a look. He makes an appearance in the FLUMPTY night in the second half of hard-boiled mode as well. He appears in the bottom left corner. Only his face is visible, and it seems his head was torn apart. Should you not flash the vent in time, this entity will end the night with the following jump scare. Our next entity is known as Eyesaur. This entity appears as a red reptilian-like monster, with thick legs, a large tail, and many heads, each having 1 or more eyes. The entity seems to have holes near each head, or some black fluid. It's unclear which is true, and it seems the monster might be made fully out of muscle mass, like a skinless abomination of human corpses. This entity will start to appear around 3 to 4 a.m. The entity will appear in the dark hallway at random. Only his eyes will be visible. The player must flash him twice to make him disappear. Take a look. This entity does not appear in any camera, and will only appear in the hallway. Moreover, the entity appears in camera 6 of the FLUMPTY night in the latter half of the hard-boiled mode. The entity is seen on the right side. A gigantic mass of muscle, laying in a pool of blood, a few of his heads are chopped off. If you are too late to ward off this entity, the following will occur. Our next entity is known as Golden FLUMPTY. This entity appears as a yellow cracked egg. A section of the top right of his head seems to be cracked fully open. It has big yellow eyes and horizontal black lines for pupils. The entity's mouth seems to have cracked open into a sharp fanged mouth. This entity will begin to appear after 3 to 4 a.m. It can appear in any of the 7 cameras. If the player should pull down the camera while he is on screen, he will appear in the office and jump scare the player, which will cause their temperature to drop a certain amount. To avoid this entity, you must switch the camera off the camera he has chosen to appear in before pulling the monitor down. This entity cannot directly freeze the player, since it will only drain enough temperature to put the player in a critical state, but never below. As you have come to expect by now, the entity makes one more appearance in the FLUMPTY night in the latter half of the hard-boiled mode. The entity will be seen in camera 6, behind Eyesaur. It looks slumped over against the wall, and its eyes have cartoonish X's in them, conveying the message that the entity is dead. Should you pull down the monitor when the entity is on screen, the following jump scare will greet you. And our last entity, and the titular antagonist of this game, is known as FLUMPTY. This entity doesn't actually appear in game. It only appears in two parts of the game, both of which we will get to in a minute. Noticeably, FLUMPTY himself is absent within the normal night. However, once the clock reaches 6 AM, FLUMPTY will murder all other characters, and he will become the only antagonist of the night. During the FLUMPTY night, FLUMPTY won't hunt alone though. The entity will create 8 clones of himself, each of which will have different mechanics to be repelled. So, let's explore each clone one by one, starting with another FLUMPTY. This clone takes on many distinct appearances. At first, it will look very similar to FLUMPTY, but as he begins to move, his appearance will shift from camera to camera. Camera 2 is where its appearance is altered the most. It appears with large human-like eyes, sharp teeth within its mouth, and an inhumanly large tongue. In the same camera, it can also take on a much more vicious appearance. Now, its teeth have elongated so much that they bulge out of its mouth. The entity's eyes seem to be bulging and bloodshot. It can also take on 2 other appearances in camera 5. First, he can be seen peeking out. It seems parts of its face are cracked, and its eyes have turned into black hollowed holes with white dots. It can also appear more disturbing, with its eyes and mouth hollowed out, mouth and eyes upturned in a seemingly uncomfortable or upset expression. The entity's appearance changes one final time in the hallway. This time, its face has been replaced by a skull. In terms of behavior, this entity works identically to Birthday Boy Blam. He will take the exact same path, with the exact same amount of movement stages in each camera towards the player. Should he leave camera 5, he must be flashed to be repelled. Take a look. While every FLUMPTY's jump scare is the exact same, each of their death messages are different. For another FLUMPTY, it will simply read, "He came from the center door." Next up, is Fireside FLUMPTY. As you might expect, this entity will exactly mimic the mechanics of the redman. It will move through 4 movement stages. Before entering the furnace, should the player go to the furnace while he has entered it, it will kill the player, with its death message reading, "You should have stayed away." Next, is known aptly as Spider FLUMPTY. This entity mimics the Beavowl with a slight difference. He will still leave the hot tub in camera 3 and crawl into the vent. However, whenever he leaves camera 3, he won't move through 2 stages before appearing in the vent. He will be seen quickly crawling through towards the camera. The player must be quick to flash the vent to repel him. Next up, is Door FLUMPTY. From here, the FLUMPTY'S will no longer mimic the mechanics of another entity. Chief amongst them, is Door FLUMPTY. At 1 AM, cameras 8A and 8B will be added to the monitor. These cameras will each show a similar room. Door FLUMPTY becomes active at the same hour. It will randomly choose one of these cameras and appear inside it. He will then move through 5 stages before appearing in the corresponding side door. He can be seen at the said door if the camera flash is used. Be careful though, throughout the night, occasionally cameras 8A and 8B will swap, which could alter the door he is coming from. This entity's death message reads, "He came from the door on the left or right, depending on which side he killed the player from." Next, is the All-Seeing Eye FLUMPTY. This entity takes on a distinct appearance with a giant eye in the center of it. This entity will become active somewhere around 2 to 3 AM. He will be seen in camera 6, with a number that will begin somewhere around 1500, and will begin counting down in rapid speed. When this number reaches 0, the entity will disappear from camera 6, and pop out of the hole in the office. At the same time, the player will have gained an exposure meter on the left side. Whenever All-Seeing Eye FLUMPTY is in the office, the exposure meter will begin to fill. If it ever fills completely, the all-seeing eye Flumpty will kill the player with the death message of, "If you can't blind him, hide." This entity can also be temporarily subdued by moving into either the furnace or the vent. This will prevent the exposure meter from filling, but will not get rid of the entity. Meaning, the best use of this mechanic would be if in any case, your flash is on cooldown, and you can't flash this entity, you can hide in one of the aforementioned locations for a bit, until the flash fills back up. Next up, is FLUMPTY.exe. This entity takes on the appearance of an error message for a program simply named egg.exe. The error message also features a red version of Flumpty, with black eyes, and a cancel button. This error message will randomly start to pop up around 2 to 3 AM onwards. The player must click the cancel button of the error message to get rid of this entity. Taking too long will cause the incoming progress bar to fill up. When that happens, FLUMPTY.exe will permanently shut off the cameras with this red screen that reads, "A fatal error has occurred at 12345-08182014, plus, SFEJODPOWFOJFODF. The security cameras are now inaccessible. Good job, Udold." Press any key to disable the keyboard. The seemingly random string of letters are actually an encoded message, that can be translated to get red inconvenience. Dying to any clone after FLUMPTY.exe shuts off the cameras, a new death message will pop up. Error, security monitor infected. The second to last clone is known as Game Boy Flumpty. This entity mostly appears as a polygon-like red version of Flumpty. Its appearance will begin to morph and get closer and closer to Flumpty as he progresses through movements. At 3 AM, 2 cameras are added to the monitor. Cameras 9 and 10. Camera 9 shows a video game like Red World, whereas camera 10 shows the power switch to the laser doors. This entity will begin in camera 9. He will then progress through 4 movements before appearing in camera 10. The lasers must be turned on to prevent him from entering into camera 10. If he ever gets past the door, he will then shut off the power to the laser doors, allowing Door Flumpty to get an easy pathway into the office. Dying to Door Flumpty after this happens, will greet you with a new death message. Don't forget to block the switch. Lastly, is Shadow Flumpty. This entity mostly appears as a purely dark version of Flumpty. The entity works similarly to Golden Flumpty. After 4 AM, the entity can appear in any camera. Thereafter, if the player pulls down the monitor when he is on screen, he will move into the office. Every time the player does this, the entity will move closer and closer. He has 4 total stages. Should he be on stage 4 and the monitor is flipped down again, he will kill the player, with the death message of, "Shy away from the shadows." Flumpty himself still makes 2 appearances in this game. First, he will be seen after beating the Flumpty Knight. Take a look. He will make his final appearance in the cutscene that plays after beating Hard-Boiled Mode. Take a look.
I'll miss you.
And now that you've seen the depths of depravity which define the FLUMPTY series, that brings us to the end of this exploration. If you wish to watch a video that YouTube believes would be best for you, click the video on the left. If you wish to watch the whole Entities Explained playlist, click the playlist on the right. And remember, the worst and even best of people can be hiding in the most unexpected areas.